Hey, it's Diego with Untitled Chapter, and today I am talking about this camera specifically, the Polaroid Go. This is Polaroid's newest, smallest, and cutest instant camera. I cannot wait to get into this. You have a video previously posted on my page, and this is just an update of like, I have it in hand. Here we go. So we're going to talk about, I have been shooting instant film since the Impossible Project days, so I can give you a pretty fair comparison through the lineage of the older cameras to this one here now. So we're going to get into it. This isn't sponsored by Polaroid, but Polaroid, if you are listening, go ahead and pay me in exposures, not exposure. Send me film and we'll be solid. I don't mind some extra film, take some pictures. If you're unfamiliar with my channel, my name is Diego. I'm a photographer here in the Central Valley that focus specifically on film. I have videos talking about 35mm film, 110 film. I'm working on an APS film thing, so stay tuned for that. I like shooting cameras or film formats that are a bit more obscure that you don't see regularly. I can guarantee there's something on my page that you've definitely never seen before. So if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure to subscribe. If you have any questions on this camera or anything posted on my YouTube, go ahead and leave it in the comments down below, or you can reach out to my Instagram, aim_shoot_develop, same name as the YouTube channel. I have no problem talking some cameras with people. So like I said earlier, I had found the screenshots where they had leaked this camera talking about it. Shout out to r/Polaroid. They had some of the screenshots up, plus a little bit of a discussion. So I got an idea of what this was going to be before it was even out. As soon as it came out for pre-order, I bought it, and here we go. Here, the camera itself is absolutely tiny. You can see I'm getting closer, but comparison to my hand. Dimensions in inches are 5.9 by 3x3 by 2.4. It'll easily fit in the palm of your hand or inside a luggage, a small purse, or a backpack. I kept mine in my denim jacket on the side, and it had no problems. It's sleek and just kind of goes with the flow. The outer shell is polycarbonate plus ABS plastic. Similar feel to the Polaroid Now or an Instax camera. It's kind of just that really nice smooth plastic. And with the small camera, you'll obviously need small film. So this is the Polaroid Go film. This will specifically work only for the Polaroid Go camera. It makes sense, but it's worth specifying. The camera is an I-type camera, which I did predict. It does have a charging port, so you charge it on the side, and the film stock itself does not have an integrated battery in it. And if you're new to Polaroid, it makes sense. It's just like, yeah, why would it have a battery in it? But some of the older film stocks like Polaroid 600 or SX70 film have these little terminals. The battery and the film were all in one container. We lived different back then. The cameras ran on batteries and the phones were connected to the wall. Wild to me is this isn't actually Polaroid's smallest film format. Probably the smallest camera, yes, but not the smallest film format. There was a camera in the 90s called the Polaroid iZone, which gave you like a thumbnail sized image, really small. You may have seen them, they're kind of rectangular shaped. Kind of the same trend as the 110 film cameras from back in the day. But that camera came and went, and now we have this little deal, which I think is a good move. Compared to the iZone, this film, the Polaroid Go film, is much larger in size. Quick comparison, I'm sure people have seen Instax Mini film. It's the same width as Instax Mini, but not the same height. It does share that same iconic rectangular shape that you know for Polaroid. The thing that I love about it, it's still wallet size. You can put them in your wallet and have no issues. I know in my wallet I have pictures of friends and family, so it's nice to have another little film format to add to the collection. One of the cool features about this camera, it does have a double exposure mode for the creative people, where basically you get two images and overlap them on one single frame. Here's an example picture that I've taken using this format, and I think it's really fun. What you want to do with double exposures is use two kind of dark backgrounds. So I took a selfie of myself kind of in the dark, and then I took a picture of flowers in the dark, and then it'll just bunch them together. For people who aren't really familiar with double exposures, it's kind of a mixed bag when you do this in daylight, because basically the more light that's on the picture, the less information can get added to the image. It's basically like layering light, so the less information that's on there, the more you can layer on. So my best point of advice would be just layering them together in kind of dark backgrounds, and you get some pretty cool effects. I hope I said that right, but if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. It does also have a self-timer. Self-timer. You can pretty much set it, try to run into the frame, fall, and everybody laughs, and then you have a nice picture of everybody laughing at you. Not you. Maybe me. I did say in my prediction video it should have had a tripod, but now having it in my hand, I don't even know where they put the tripod, honestly. Its thing is so compact, there'd be no space to put it comfortably, so it makes sense. Polaroid, you got off the hook with this one. No tripod mount, it's okay. Something I genuinely like, the Viewfinder. Strangely enough, they did a good job on this. For being such a small camera, it's almost the exact same size as the Polaroid Now here. The Polaroid Now's Viewfinder is actually pretty decently sized, but I mean, for being a small camera, again, really good job on that one, Polaroid. You did good. And the feature that I actually really love, and I use pretty frequently, is the selfie function on the front. So they pretty much coated the top part of the viewfinder with this nice coating so you can see your reflection, and the square actually matches up with the square. I'd say point it down a little bit, but if your face is in this square, it'll pretty much get in the exposure. Very smart, very clever, and I feel like they executed this perfectly. It will take a little bit of experimentation to get it to your liking, but I can guarantee you this is a feature that you will like to use. It does feature that iconic rainbow stripe, which I actually really love. It's just the Polaroid's legacy. I have multiple cameras with it. Here we go. It's just years and years of good branding. I love the rainbow stripe on them, and just fantastic. Small, sleek, and just easy to use. I pretty much give it to anybody, point, shoot, solid. The Viewfinder's easy, so I have no issues handing it off to people. Okay, like I was saying, obviously I shoot this kind of stuff, like the Polaroid now the Polaroid Go, and I do have this, which is my refurbished Polaroid 680. And this thing's an absolute monster. It's kind of the professional end of Polaroid's lineage. Polaroid 680 is a glass lens, it has an autofocus system, it has an SLR viewfinder so you know exactly what you're getting when you're taking the shot. But the difference is, look at this thing and look at this thing. Trying to carry this around is a bit of a hassle, and this thing is pocketable and fun. The lens is a polycarbonate resin, which is just a fancy way of saying plastic. But you really can't knock the fun factor of this thing. This thing is just absolutely charming. Like, handing it to somebody, they see the thing. It's almost even like a toy, considering it's so small. It's like, that's not a Polaroid. You push the button, nothing would come out. And when they see the little pictures, they're just like mind blown. It's charming. I think it's funny how I actually have to pull out my wallet to show the photo examples, because storing them, I literally just put them in my wallet. There we go. The camera's so pocketable, the images you can just fit them in your thing. I really realized how kind of different or large the Polaroid frames were until we got this stuff. This thing is kind of, not to say inconvenient, but it does get a bit harder trying to find storage, slipping them in my camera bag. You have to find a little space for them. These things, you put them in my wallet, you're cool, you look at them later, you share them. It's just simple. How well does the image quality stack up? It does use the same formula, the same little like rollers pushing it out, same chemical stuff. And even though it's a smaller size, I would say it does get that Polaroid look perfectly. Obviously it's the same chemicals, but it looks like Polaroid's look, if that makes sense. Just smaller. Even though this is about the Polaroid Go, comparing it to something like the Fujifilm Instax, I would say that Instax has cheaper film, probably better chemistry. It develops faster, you get a little bit more exposure per frame considering it's a little bit longer. But those cameras lack charm that you just don't get from Polaroid. Although I am a technical photographer, I like getting my settings, I like having control of the film, exposure, everything. I genuinely like when you can just have fun with photography. Okay, so my camera died, so I'm filming the rest of this last part on my phone. Tell me what you think about this camera in the comments down below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below or reach out on Instagram, Aim Shoot Develop. I have links to other things like my TikTok, which I post a bit more frequently, my Instagram, Aim Shoot Develop, and they'll all be in the description with the website aimshootdevelop.com. Pretty much has links to all my social media. You can get a hold of me pretty much any one of those ways. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video, I have tons of other videos talking about cameras like this or a little bit more obscure that you don't see too often. This is actually my 100th video. I've been on YouTube for 2 years now. So it's cool that I have a nice back catalog of things that you can watch if you ever get bored. That is pretty much it. Keep shooting film. Take care. Peace.